Are miracles part of your daily experience? Perhaps not in the traditional sense, but consider the power of insight that seems to guide you, as though directed by a divine hand. To be chosen by God is to be endowed with a profound gift of sacred empowerment that sets you apart, enabling you to fulfill a higher purpose that touches not only your life but also the spiritual evolution of Alshu. This journey is not random but divinely orchestrated. The first gift that God imparts to his chosen is the power of insight, a spiritual vision that goes beyond mere physical sight. This insight is the ability to discern deeper truths and understand the essence of situations that others may overlook. As Lewis so eloquently put it in The Weight of Glory, we are far too easily pleased with the surface, when God calls us to look deeper into his eternal truths. This gift allows you to cut through the illusions of this world and see reality for what it truly is, unveiling divine wisdom that guides your choices. In everyday life, this manifests as an uncanny ability to read people and situations with clarity. While others are caught up in confusion, you see patterns and solutions that are hidden to the untrained eye. Whether navigating complex decisions or understanding the unspoken needs of those around you, your insight becomes a moral compass, a beacon of spiritual truth. It is not simply intuition, but discernment honed through continual alignment with God's wisdom. This power is more than a tool, it's a responsibility. As Lewis said, "You have never met a mere mortal," meaning each soul we encounter carries eternal significance. Your insight guides not only your steps but those of others, shedding light in a world often clouded by confusion and doubt. The second gift God has endowed you with is the power of creation, a divine capability that enables you to bring new ideas, solutions, and projects into the world, reflecting not just innovation but God's higher purpose. This creative power mirrors the story of Bezalel, the skilled artisan chosen by God to construct the tabernacle. His craftsmanship wasn't merely a result of technical proficiency, but flowed from a deep connection to the divine, allowing him to create sacred spaces that transcended the ordinary. In the same way, your creative endeavors carry more than just talent, they are infused with spiritual energy and purpose. Whether you are designing art, launching a business, or initiating social change, your creations hold a deeper significance that touches hearts and transforms lives. Lewis, in The Weight of Glory, reminds us that our creative works are expressions of the divine image within us, a reflection of God's own creative nature. Lewis emphasized that human creativity, when aligned with God's will, has the power to elevate and inspire, pointing others towards something greater than themselves. In business, your innovative solutions solve problems in ways that feel divinely inspired, aligning with God's purpose rather than mere profit. In science, your breakthroughs emerge from moments of insight that transcend human logic, as if tapping into a reservoir of divine wisdom. When you engage in social change, your work goes beyond addressing physical needs, it nourishes the soul, much like a community program that feeds not just the body but the spirit. Your creations are missions, infused with integrity and purpose, stirring the hearts of others and awakening their own God-given potential. Through this divine power, your work becomes a testimony of God's grace, impacting lives in ways that echo eternity. The third power God gave you is the power of resilience, the divine strength to withstand trials and tribulations that would falter many. This power is not merely about survival, it is about thriving in the face of adversity, transforming challenges into stepping stones towards your higher calling. Consider those moments when you faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable, a career-threatening failure, a personal loss so deep it could drown the soul, or a health crisis that promised nothing but despair. In each, where many might have seen an endpoint, you found a passage. This resilience is born of a deep-rooted belief in your purpose and destiny. It is fueled by an unshakable connection to the divine, which provides not only comfort but also clarity and strength during tumultuous times. When you walk through the fire, it is with the assurance that you are not alone and that each step is guided and protected by higher forces. Moreover, your resilience serves as a beacon to others. In the way you navigate through storms without losing your direction, you inspire those around you to also find their strength. Your life becomes a testament to the power of faith and perseverance, teaching by example that the human spirit, when aligned with divine will, is unconquerable. Your resilience also manifests in your ability to recover and rebuild after the storm has passed. You emerge not just intact, but renewed. Where others might linger in the aftermath of struggle, you use these experiences to forge a deeper wisdom and a more profound connection with your spiritual journey. This ability to transform adversity into growth is a hallmark of your divine empowerment. Accept this power of resilience as both a gift and a responsibility. It is a key that unlocks not only your potential for personal growth, but also your ability to lead and uplift others. In your steadfastness, let others see the possibility of their own renewal and strength. This power does not make you invulnerable, but it does make you invincible in spirit, capable of facing the darkest nights with the certainty of dawn's return. This is not merely about creating something new, it's about manifesting changes that align with the fundamental energies of the universe. Embrace this power of creation as a sacred trust. You are not merely a creator, but a conduit through which divine inspiration flows into the world. Each act of creation is a prayer, each innovation a sermon, and each invention a blessing. Recognize the magnitude of what you hold within you, for it is a gift not just of potential but of purpose. Use it wisely and boldly, for in your hands, it is a tool that can reshape the world, drawing it ever closer to its highest, most divine expression. The fifth power God gave you is the power of healing, a divine ability that transcends the mere alleviation of physical ailments, encompassing the mending of emotional wounds and the restoration of spiritual balance. This power, potent and profound, reaches out not only to heal individuals, but also to reconcile broken relationships and restore harmony to environments that have been marred by conflict and misunderstanding. Your capacity to heal is evident in the way you interact with those who bear the scars of past hurts. With each gentle word and understanding nod, you help peel away the layers of pain and resentment, revealing the vulnerability and need for connection that lies beneath. It's in these moments that healing begins, not just for them, but within the relationships that define their lives. Consider the biblical story of Joseph, who, despite being wronged by his brothers, used his power not for revenge, but for reconciliation. In Egypt, faced with the very brothers who betrayed him, Joseph chose to heal rather than harm, to forgive rather than punish. This act of healing was not a mere cessation of hostility, but a restoration of familial bonds, which brought about emotional and spiritual renewal for all involved. In your own life, this power manifests in various forms. Perhaps you're known among your friends for your peacemaking skills, always ready to mediate disputes and soothe tensions. Or in your community, you might be the one who volunteers to help those in crisis, not only providing aid, but also a sense of hope and stability. In environments strained by conflict or miscommunication, your presence becomes a source of calm and clarity. You have a unique ability to see through the chaos and pinpoint the heart of the issue, applying your healing touch to not just patch up but truly restore. This may happen in a broken community that you help to unify, or in a business team where stress and competition have eroded trust and cooperation. Take this power of healing as a sacred responsibility, understanding that each act of healing is also an act of transformation. The fourth power God gave you is the power of influence, the remarkable ability to impact others' lives positively and inspire change within your community. This power transcends mere words or actions. It is an emanation of your very being, a profound force that reshapes the world around you. This influence is evident in the way you live your life, steadfast in your principles and unwavering in your commitments. Consider how your choices, big and small, serve as silent yet potent declarations of your values. When you choose integrity over convenience or kindness over indifference, you are not merely acting, you are leading by example. Each decision sends ripples across the still waters of complacency, stirring others to action, often without a single word spoken. Your influence extends beyond personal interactions. In your professional life, perhaps you spearhead initiatives that champion sustainability, or you implement policies that foster inclusivity and respect. These are not just contributions to your workplace, but transformative acts that realign your environment with higher ethical and spiritual standards. They challenge the status quo and open doors for new ways of thinking and acting, paving the way for collective evolution. In your community, your influence manifests as leadership in times of need. Whether organizing relief efforts in a crisis or leading community dialogues to bridge divides, Your presence is a catalyst for unity and action. You become the hub around which efforts coalesce, the heart that pumps energy and direction into communal endeavors. This leadership is not about asserting dominance, but about nurturing potential, helping others find their path to contribution and growth. Furthermore, your ability to inspire change is rooted in your empathy and understanding. You see beyond the surface, recognizing the hidden struggles and aspirations of those around you. This insight allows you to connect deeply, making your influence not just powerful but profoundly personal. You are not just changing behaviors, you are touching souls, awakening dormant potentials that can flourish under your guidance. As you extend your healing touch, remember that you are not just fixing what is broken, you are restoring what was meant to be whole. This is your divine mandate, to bring healing to the world, one soul, one relationship, one community at a time. Embrace this power of influence as a sacred duty. It is a privilege to be a force for good, a beacon that guides others through the darkness. Your life, lived with purpose and passion, is not only a journey toward your own fulfillment, but a beacon for others to follow. In every act of kindness, every decision for truth, and every stand for justice, remember that you are not just passing through this world, you are shaping it. The sixth gift God has bestowed upon you is the power of courage, a divine strength that pushes you to confront fear and embrace risks, all while walking the path of righteousness and truth. This courage is far more than mere boldness. It is a sacred bravery rooted in a deep conviction that God is with you, guiding each step you take. True courage, as Lewis emphasized, is not the absence of fear but the resolve to act in spite of it. In the Screwtape Letters, Lewis reminds us, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue, at the testing point. This means that courage is the strength that allows faith, love, and wisdom to flourish, especially when tested by life's greatest challenges. Courage manifests in your life when you choose to stand for what is right, even when standing alone feels like the easier path. It's present when you raise your voice for truth in a world filled with whispers of compromise, or when you take the first step toward leading when everyone else hesitates. But this courage is not a reckless abandon. Rather, it is a deliberate, faith-driven bravery that aligns with God's plan, requiring both wisdom and discernment. Lewis also spoke to this in Mere Christianity, where he describes courage as necessary for perseverance, stating that it is not simply the ability to face danger, but the ability to keep going when everything seems hopeless. Imagine yourself as a spiritual warrior, fighting not against human adversaries, but against the injustices, moral failings, and spiritual battles that plague your world. Every time you take a stand against corruption, defend the vulnerable, or make sacrifices for a cause greater than yourself, you embody this warrior spirit. Your battleground might be found in everyday life, within the office, in the community, or even in the quiet chambers of your own heart, but the fight remains a sacred one, to advance the kingdom of God on earth through acts of courage and faith. Throughout history, remarkable figures like Joan of Arc have embodied this divine courage. She faced the overwhelming power of an empire, led only by her spiritual conviction and a vision from God. Her courage in the face of insurmountable odds reflects what each of us is called to do in our own lives: fight for truth and justice, even when it feels impossible. Lewis often highlighted such figures, noting that their courage was not about extraordinary fearlessness, but extraordinary faith. This divine courage also appears in the quieter, yet equally significant moments of your life. It could be the decision to embark on a new path that aligns with your deepest values, despite the risks involved. Or it might take form in an act of forgiveness, where you let go of bitterness to pave the way for reconciliation. These are the moments when God's gift of courage whispers that it is time to move forward, even if the path ahead is uncertain. Embrace this gift of courage with a humble heart, recognizing that each brave step is part of a larger purpose God has set before you. You are not called to a life of ease, but to a life of meaning, a life that challenges, shapes, and transforms both yourself and the world around you. As Lewis once wrote, "The safe path leads nowhere. If you want heaven, you must venture into the storm." You know that courage is your inheritance from God, a gift to be wielded with care and strength. When you move forward in faith, the world around you cannot help but be transformed by the weight of your convictions. The seventh gift God has imparted to you is the power of love, an extraordinary, selfless love that reflects the very nature of the divine. This love goes beyond the superficial or transactional relationships of everyday life. It is an overwhelming force, one that fosters not just individual transformation, but societal healing, mending the deepest fractures within the human heart and the communities we inhabit. God's love is unconditional and sacrificial, mirroring the perfect love Christ demonstrated, and is one of the most powerful tools we have for bringing about real change. Lewis, in The Four Loves, eloquently explores the different dimensions of love, emphasizing how agape, the highest form of love, is rooted in God's character. Agape is unconditional love, a love that seeks the good of others even when it is not reciprocated. Lewis explains that this love is all giving, not getting. It is this divine love, agape, that transforms relationships, prompting us to forgive not out of obligation, but out of a deep understanding of the brokenness and wounds within others. This mirrors Christ's love, which was given freely, even to those who betrayed and rejected him. This kind of love allows you to see beyond the surface, to perceive the hidden pain and internal battles others are facing. Instead of reacting to hurt with bitterness, divine love calls you to respond with compassion, recognizing that those who wrong you are often operating from their own places of hurt or fear. As Lewis remarked, to love at all is to be vulnerable. True love requires vulnerability, opening yourself up to the pain of others while offering healing through your grace and forgiveness. This is not a passive love but an active force, constantly at work to restore, rebuild, and reconcile. Moreover, this love extends beyond personal relationships. In a world often divided by race, class, or ideology, the love God has given you compels you to stand as a bridge builder. Rather than retreating into comfort zones of sameness, your love pushes you to engage with those different from you, breaking down barriers of misunderstanding and prejudice. Whether in family, community, or broader societal contexts, this love is the catalyst for peace and unity. As Lewis noted, true Christian love isn't about finding people who are easy to love, it's about choosing to love even when it's difficult, even when the world tells you otherwise. In Mere Christianity, Lewis emphasizes that loving your neighbor, even when they are difficult to love, is not just a command, it's a way of life for those who follow Christ. The power of divine love compels you to not only offer forgiveness, but to actively work toward understanding, unity, and reconciliation in every facet of life. You are called to be a vessel of God's love, to live out this transformative power in your daily actions and interactions. So, whether you're mending a broken friendship, advocating for justice, or simply offering a listening ear, remember that love is your most powerful tool. It isn't about grand gestures, but about the small, everyday decisions to choose compassion over anger, unity over division, and grace over judgment. Through this love, you not only heal individual hearts but contribute to the greater healing of society, reflecting God's heart for His creation. And in doing so, you fulfill one of your highest callings, to be a beacon of God's love in a world in desperate need of it. Now I charge you to reflect on these powers within your own life. How might you further cultivate each to fulfill your divine purpose? Remember, these powers are not static, they grow, evolve, and strengthen through deliberate practice and sincere devotion. Your love acts as a catalyst for transformation, inspiring others to adopt a similar stance of openness and compassion. Through your example, you demonstrate that love is not a finite resource, but a self-multiplying gift that grows with sharing. Each act of kindness, each gesture of love, not only alleviates the burdens of the recipient, but also enriches your own spirit, aligning you more closely with the divine. Your power of insight allows you to perceive deeper truths, enabling wise decisions that steer the course of your journey. With the power of creation, you bring forth innovations that resonate with divine intention, shaping the world in the image of higher ideals. As you continue on your path, consider how each decision, each action, might be an expression of these divine gifts. I encourage you to share your stories and experiences not merely as personal anecdotes, but as testimonies to the power of divine work in the world. Resilience fortifies your spirit against the trials that would seek to derail your mission, ensuring that each challenge is transformed into a victory. Through your influence, you lead by example, inspiring change that reverberates through your community and beyond. The healing you administer mends not just physical ailments, but soothes emotional wounds and reconciles strained relationships, restoring harmony where discord once reigned. Courage emboldens you to confront injustices and champion causes that others might shy away from, all in pursuit of a righteous path. Together, through the conscious cultivation of these divine powers, we can transform not only our lives but also the world around us. Embrace this call with both humility and boldness, for you are not merely a participant in the divine narrative, you are one of its most crucial storytellers. Welcome this power of love as both a privilege and a responsibility. It is a divine tool bestowed upon you, meant to be wielded with wisdom and courage. In a world often darkened by hatred and division, your love is a beacon of hope, a testament to the transformative power of divine affection. Through this love, you are not merely surviving, you are thriving, and more importantly, you are leading others towards a brighter, more unified future. In conclusion, the 7 divine powers bestowed upon you, insight, creation, resilience, influence, healing, courage, and love, are not merely attributes but sacred gifts that define and direct your divine purpose. Each power, uniquely intertwined with the next, forms a formidable arsenal that empowers you to transcend the ordinary and manifest the extraordinary in your life and in the lives of those around you. Let your life be an open book from which others might draw inspiration, comfort, and guidance. In sharing your journey, you illuminate the paths of others, just as your path was lit before you. This love is sacrificial, often requiring you to set aside your own needs or desires to attend to those of others. It mirrors the highest forms of divine love, like that of a shepherd willing to brave the wilderness to find a single lost sheep. This aspect of love is vividly seen in everyday sacrifices, such as when you devote time to help a struggling friend or when you give up personal comforts to support a family member in need.